Welcome. We're so glad that you're joining us today for our Wellness Waypoint.
Hello, it's good to see you, Heaven. Hi, Tony. Thank you for joining us. So today is a day for social connection. Our wellness themes for this month in November are social connection and gratitude. And I think it's very apt for the time of year as we all start preparing for fall and the holidays to focus on the relationships that bring meaning to our lives and being grateful for not only those relationships but the many aspects of our lives that bring meaning and purpose. And so today we're going to focus on social connection, and I'm hoping that we can all have a conversation about our lived experience and best practices on fostering social connection in the workplace. And then next week, just as a quick little teaser, we will be practicing a mindful meditation that walks us through a gratitude practice. It will be supported by sound, so it will be purely experiential and just for you to be able to relax and recharge while you're going through your day.
That will be on the 24th, not next week.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Desiree.
You're very welcome.
So for today's road trip, I'll be driving and Desiree will be my lovely co-pilot. So I appreciate you guys being in the back seat. You're welcome to just enjoy the view and the scenery as we work through our little agenda. And if you'd like, we'd really appreciate if you wanted to join the conversation. One thing I love about road trips, speaking about social connection, is I'm not sure about you guys, but I find that I have some of the most meaningful conversations with people in the car. Excuse me. Having the heat on is it's the season for the humidifier, right? Anyway, so I'm hoping that we can have a enjoyable, casual discussion about the ways in which we foster connection. And yeah, just imagine yourself on a road trip, stuck in the car with us with nothing to do but chat. Anyway, so I would love to share my screen here. A. Johnson. Ooh, is that perhaps an Amber Johnson?
Yep.
Welcome. So nice to have you join the trip.
Thanks.
Just taking a moment to share my screen, and you didn't miss anything. We are just getting started, and today we're going to focus on building meaningful relationships in the workplace. And of course, we can assure you that technology will cooperate the entire time.
Every single time.
Every time. Okay. So I know that I need to say share sound. And it should all work. Coming together. Nope, not that one. Present. Beautiful. So now we're officially getting started. That was the prelude to the intro. Anyway, I just get a kick of trying to make you guys laugh. Today, we are well on the way for Wellness Waypoints. This is our third iteration, and we're focusing on social connection. Lydia's at the wheel, and Desiree is supporting me as my co-pilot. So I'm hoping that while we're on the road, we can explore what social well-being means to us. We can share the ways that we generate meaningful connection in our lives, and talk about why it's important in the workplace. Would you guys like to do a little bit of a arrival activity with me? You're more than welcome to chat if you'd prefer, or you're welcome to use the little reactions, whatever way you would like to engage. This time is for you. And I would love to get us started with just a little check-in. Taking a deep breath in through your nose, holding for just a moment, and then exhaling through the mouth. Really drawing out that exhale. It's important that you breathe in a rhythm that feels comfortable to you, and if it helps, you can count along with each step. So we know that when you elongate the exhale, you engage that relaxation response. So we'll do one more time. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just a quick focus on our breath and notice how you feel in this moment with curiosity and non-judgment. I'm noticing that I'm hunching over. I have a little bit of tension in my shoulders. Listening to that feedback. Noticing my feet, my seat, my shoulders, jaw, breath, brow. Going from your feet all the way up to your head. And maybe, if it feels good, even noticing the fluctuation or quality of our thoughts and emotions. Knowing there's no right or wrong, there's no need to fix. Just accepting how we're arriving in this moment. I love to start our sessions with just a little bit of an experiential offering to normalize taking a moment to bring our focus from our work, our effort, onto our body, mind, spirit, and just noticing. Usually we've been practicing the one-word check-in. You may have gotten to join us when we were participating in that. But in the spirit of social connection, I thought I'd share one of my favorite best practices, which is big talk. Skip the small talk. And big talk is a concept that was developed by a grad student to improve upon the feelings of isolation and loneliness that so many people report on. And she came up with this concept that we can, instead of making small talk about things like the weather or, what we did today, we can dive a little deeper into our human experience and really learn something about one another and really bridge that gap, leading to an authentic and meaningful connection. And so this is something that I've practiced with my teams and with groups all around Montana. It's a cute little deck. And I'd love to share the video talking about the intention behind it. And then we'll draw a card, and if you feel comfortable, I'd love for us all to try answering the question. All right, so I'm going to wheel the VCR player and the TV into the room here. Let's enjoy this moment with the video. Let me know if you can hear it. I can adjust the volume.
To skip the small talk, I'm going to start off by asking you guys 3 questions. So the first question is, are any of you going through any sort of personal struggle right now? Yeah. Okay. The second.
Lydia, you're on mute.
Thanks, co-pilot. I was saying, please pardon the interruption. Brief technical difficulty. It wouldn't go into full screen. Okay, here we go. I'll just reshare from here. Hopefully that will. All right. Yep, just let me know in chat if you can't hear the video.
Right. Hi, I'm Kalina, and this is the beginning of an experiment called Big Talk. I wanted to be able to go out, meet new people, and instead of just make small talk, actually have deeper, meaningful conversations with them. Kalina.
We get your hand on TV.
Yeah, come on.
What do I want to do before I die? Oh man, jeez.
That's a deep question.
Oh, or what do I want to do when I grow up?
You mean job-wise?
That's a hard one.
Wow, that's a tough one.
Is it just one thing?
Well,
I want to learn how to scuba dive.
Travel the Appalachian Trail.
go to the priest and make a confession.
I'd like to be a herpetologist, somebody who studies reptiles and amphibians.
See my kids graduate from college.
Make every moment count.
Live without any alcohol and drugs and problems, big problems like that, and just be happy day by day.
Being able to reconcile with my father and say I love you to him.
I want to have a wife and kids. I wrote like an essay on it when I was in 5th grade, and I remember all my friends made fun of me because everyone was like, I want to be a sports star or a movie star, but I just said I want a wife and kids.
I'll be happy because I already lived, before I lived very bad. I was homeless for 13 years.
Maybe call a lot of my friends.
I'd probably text all my friends.
I would take a road trip to go see someone today. I can't say. I would tell them that I love them. Yeah.
Do they know you love them?
I think so.
What would I want to do today if I was to die tomorrow, if I knew I was going to die tomorrow? Be with my family.
If I knew I was gonna die tomorrow, I'd get on an airplane to go be with my son. See, now I'm gonna cry. It's literally, I'll say the most significant relationship that I have. Being 18 and having a baby.
If I were dying, I'd love to have Charlie on my bed. Ray was dying. He had this little fluffy dog that cuddled right next to him and would not. Oh, that's fascinating. There's a dog bark. Do you love that or what?
Be in denial, thinking it's gonna happen, and I can't die.
My mom said that the day before she died that if she were to die tomorrow, she would have lived the fullest life ever, and then she died unexpectedly the next day. So this is a very personal question. So family has always been of utmost importance to me.
Then when I was was about 50, I guess 50, I fell in love with a woman.
Yeah, my dad's black from the South. His father was murdered by the KKK when he was 5.
Like, I have 2 children that are 19 and 20 now. About it just seems like just yesterday, like when they were little, you know. The time goes by so fast. I don't even feel like I'm really any much older, you know, than when they were kids. And
I love my life so much right now. I used to not like at all. I used to hate my life. There was this girl that I really liked, and I went up to her and basically told her that I liked her. And she was like, "Oh, you're kidding, right?" And then I was like, "Oh, yeah."
I didn't really sinner.
Why do you think you're a sinner?
I am a human being.
I could at one point say I hated my father. If I had died without reconciling with my father, I think like I would definitely would not be able to sleep at night. And I think being able to do that just has brought me a lot of freedom.
Family is everything. But everything else is meaningless.
People's relatives are their wealth. This is their true wealth. If you have a relative, you have to treasure them.
We have to respect the person from the world they have walked in, that they are, who they are.
Now, when you get who you are, you have the confidence and the power to do anything that you want.
I want y'all to understand this out there in TV world. You have to be 100% with yourself no matter what you do.
Walk by a stranger and never talk to them.
Yeah.
The fact that you're coming and talking is nice. It's like, it's connection and communication.
Thanks so much.
Of course.
Still popular.
Oh, is it? Okay.
She wants to be my money when I get famous.
This is part of what I think I'm crying now.
And last thing, what got you guys up at sunrise for this hike?
I asked him out on a date.
This was good. I like doing this. This was good.
If I hadn't approached these people, I probably wouldn't have ever met them. And by choosing to make big talk instead of small talk, I was able to learn what people really care about and like.
What music should we come up with?
Oh, my favorite music is the 80s. That's my favorite.
I say we're holding this
Almost
interview.
all of the
I say
80s
classical
music is
would be
very
sitting
good.
here right now. I see some classical music playing
Rock.
in the background while you sit here
80s
holding
rock.
this little interview.
Aww. I'm not crying, you're crying. I've seen that video so many times, and it still moves me. And the reason I wanted to share it with you today.
Hi, I'm Kalina, and this is the continuation of an experiment called Big Talk, where the idea...
Alright. YouTube's autoplay feature, right? Okay, and I just wanted to kind of share, I find making big talk meaningful because it normalizes taking a risk and being vulnerable with someone and sharing a little deeper. Statistically, a great deal of people feel social isolation and loneliness in our modern society. And I think that's so interesting because if, let's say we're sitting in a public space and we grabbed our lunch and we're sitting at the table and we're eating alone and we're feeling that loneliness. Somebody comes by and sits next to us. Chances are they might be feeling the same way as you. And so if one party member takes the risk in being vulnerable, you never know what kind of connection can be generated from that. And so, yeah, it's just kind of a piece that interests me. Oopsies. Had to stop at a pullover.
You and the analogies are
Yeah, I can't help it. just how my brain works. And, yeah, I just want to make people laugh, honestly. I'm really hoping that these bi-monthly sessions can become a time where we come together and connect with one another and have a reprieve from our normal responsibilities and leave feeling a little bit refueled. And so today, I'm sure some of you have recognized our lovely 6 dimensions of wellness. Today, we're going to zoom in on social connection and see why it's important to generate that kind of authentic connection in the workplace. And so I'm curious, you guys are already masters at this. How do you engage social well-being at work? If you have the ability to, I'd love for you to unmute. You can just call it out or type in chat. One of your go-tos. How do you connect with people? Or how have you developed a meaningful connection in the workplace? While we're waiting for you guys to think about that and get that sent off into the ether, I'd love to share a best practice of mine that has allowed Desiree and I to connect as colleagues. So I think it all started really with more casual co-working sessions where we both had things we needed to work on independently or together, and we'd reach out and just say, hey, you want to hop on a call? Because we both work from home. And so we kind of created this virtual office space that we share, and routinely, I'd say maybe once a week, maybe once every other week, instead of hitting the gas on the production of our work, we'll just take a moment to chat and see where we're at. And the tool that we use is drawing a card and discussing it. I've really become a huge proponent of drawing cards because it's a low lift icebreaker that can spark a conversation that we wouldn't think to start ourselves, and we don't have to go through the mental labor of coming up with something again and again each week for a meeting or a co-working session. And so I'd love to model this with drawing a big talk card. And yeah, try it on for size sometime. Grab your favorite colleague and maybe a warm cup of coffee and draw a card and talk about how it relates to your lived experience or what it brings up in you. It's a really fun little game. I realize we watched the video, but we didn't draw a card. We're gonna turn this car right around. Let's go. Come on. There we go. Big talk.
We do have a couple of responses in chat if you want to check those out.
I love that. Thank you so much. So Julie says, I try to make sure to say hi to my team members every day. We have some office hermits. Right. And so making sure everybody gets acknowledged. That little check-in can mean so much to people. Thanks for sharing, Julie. Hey, Tim, it's good to see you. Welcome. Thanks for hopping in the car. Tim says, it has gotten harder with fewer individuals in the office, and as I moved into a less interactive part of the agency. Thanks for sharing that, that challenge. I think it's important as we work through all the areas of workplace well-being that we are normalizing the challenges that I'm sure we all bump into from time to time. And yeah, I want to validate that. It can be hard to generate meaningful connection with the modern workplace, kind of shifting the dynamic. And yeah, thanks for the vulnerability, Tim. I appreciate you sharing that. So Heaven says, I walk around to chat with people so that I can check on them. I also started morale training goodie bags that I bring to different areas, oh my goodness, at different times at random frequencies, so that I have an opportunity to check in with people across the organization. That's awesome. What an amazing best practice. And I bet it really does help people feel recognized and seen when you drop that little goodie bag off. I'm curious, do you mind sharing a few things that you put in the goodie bag?
Yeah, so it's something that I kind of started a while ago. It's taken a little bit longer to get up and running, but I'm going at a pretty good rate now. When I came to my current organization, I noticed that there wasn't a lot of like welcome swag or a lot of places when you come on board they give you like even a cool pen or something like that. We weren't doing anything like that, but retention, recruitment, all that stuff is kind of at an all-time low across all industries, but we're kind of experiencing that in rural Montana on a pretty significant level. So one thing that I started doing was getting these little bags, but it's also a nice way for me to touch base with people and be like, hey, don't forget we have these training opportunities coming up. We have this going on. So I can tell you, so like this week they are these tiny little reusable Ziploc bags, and they say, I try to get the corniest, most cheesy, motivational things that I can find just because I feel like it makes people kind of chuckle and they're like, seriously, this is so lame. Plus, they also know that I'm just a really big cornball, so it works out. So these little bags say, sometimes you forget you're awesome, so this is your reminder. And in every bag, so this is just what I'm doing for this month. And in every bag, I put a little note that has pictures of little germs on it. I guess I could probably actually, yeah. Sorry, I can't figure out my camera. Let's see. I don't know if you guys can, here's my face. So I put these little notes in there. And so it says, what do germs and training have in common? They both sneak up on you, but you can prepare for them both. Wash your hands, cover your cough, use proper PPE, take care of yourself, check communicator for trainings and notifications, sign up for CPR, BLS, and sign up for CPI with also where you can find those things at the website and my email. And then, so in the little, what, I might as well just leave this on because it's a little program that I just started and I'm very, very proud of it. So these are some examples. This is the little bag.
Oh my
And it has a
gosh.
little note. And so inside each one, I did different little things. So each one has something kind of different because I like things to be different. I put an emergency in here because it's that time of the year. So we got the emergency stickers because stickers are really funny. Like this one says, I only cried a little, and it's a little ribbon type of thing. I also put some cauli puffs in here. They're cauliflower puff snacks, kind of like Cheetos, and a little like liquid IV stick and a pen also with a super motivational saying on it. And then this one has like a little wristband that puts your keys onto. And this one, I didn't do the cauli puffs. Instead, I did little mini Cliff Bars and a box breathing animal that you can have, an emotional support starfish, and some fruit bars, a piece of gum, a liquid IV, and a coffee stick. So they all pretty much have the same things: the emergency, the coffee stick, the pen, and the stickers is in all of them, but the little snacks is kind of different throughout all of them. That's just something that I've been doing. I got a ton of different pens. I like to have funny stuff with serious stuff, so I have pens that are like little. This one is a ketamine. It looks like an injectable. So I have those, and then I have, of course, my corn dog ones like follow your heart.
Oh my gosh, I think we bought the same pens.
I love these pens. I think they're super fun, and it's just I can't tell you how many times because I try to do something a little different. I have a hand sanitizer that I'll be doing for the next one with personal sized tissues and stuff like that. I just, I've come across so many people that when I'm giving these, even if it's something small like, a piece of gum and a pen, or just walking around and just saying, hey, and giving people something, regardless of how small or inexpensive it may be. I've just caught a lot of people that are like, you really don't know how much I needed this today, or you really have no idea how much this means right now, because it seems like people have hard days and you just never know when you're going to catch them. So it really is a good segue for me to be like, well, what's going on? Is there something that I can help with? Is there anything I can do? And it kind of just opens the door for a larger conversation, I think. But that's just something that I do here. I do not do well at sitting at my desk for extended periods of time, so I find myself wandering about pretty frequently. I like to make sure that I don't always get to see everybody because we have night shifters, afternoon shifters, different types of stuff. So I try to make it a point to spread out and conquer as best as I can.
Oh my goodness, that's incredible. I just have so many comments. Snaps for Heaven and her little social connection goodie bags. I love your enthusiasm and the principles behind it, right? Sometimes it's not necessarily about what it is, it's about the acknowledgement, the effort, and just reaching out to let people know they matter. So, excellent job, and thank you for sharing your project with us.
Yeah, sorry I got a little long-winded. I get really excited. I think you know that, Lydia. I have a lot of passion for different types of things, and kind of inclusivity and that sense of belonging in a workplace is something that I take pretty seriously, and I do my best to kind of aid in some of those hurdles that we are experiencing. At my last organization, I started what was called the RAC program, which was based on the fundamentals of the kindness ninjas. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, or the kindness warriors. I can't remember. This is a school teacher that started this program with her, I believe it was like kindergarten, first grade. It was small elementary school kids, and what they did is every day they would go and draw a little piece of paper that would say something like pick up trash at recess, or sit with a new friend at lunch, or play with a new kid at recess, or whatnot. And so they were called the kindness warriors or the kindness ninjas. And that just kind of took off. They started to notice that grades in the school had improved. There were lower bullying rates, all sorts of stuff like that. It was just pretty effective. So that's where that kind of idea came from. But I also don't have the best way to give people reminders about training opportunities.
Yeah, I was thinking that it's dual purpose, right? You're getting to communicate a resource that people can take advantage of, and they're getting a little love during their workday, which we all need. So, thank you for sharing, and I really appreciate people going out on a limb and sharing their best practices. You never have to worry about being long winded because the more you guys share, the less you have to hear me ramble on about car analogies or road trip analogies. The other thing I wanted to just comment on is the love of the cheesy joke, right? I'm right up there with you. So, we also had Amber share in chat during the first 6 to 9 months of my colleague's return to the office after maternity leave. I would bring her a treat or sweet each Tuesday. Oh my goodness, I so bet she appreciated that. I'm sure it's really hard returning when you want to be at home with the babe, and what a way to bring her back in and let her know that she's appreciated. Okay, awesome. Very good. And so, just a quick note, social connection, right? It deals with meaningful relationships and community involvement. And so today we're going to talk about, or we're already talking about, how to actually generate that. we're already kind of sharing these best practices, but I wanted to expand our conversation to one tiny move that helped build authentic connection on your team. And not only what did you do, but what made it possible? Because I think there's different ways to generate social connection. We have that one-on-one with people, and then we also have the group dynamic and how well and cohesive the group is, or how well connected and cohesive the group is, right? And so it sounds like those little goodie bags are a great example of a tiny move that really expanded that connection to the full campus for Montana State Hospital. Does anybody else have specifically a team-based best practice that helps shift things for your team in getting to know people beyond their role and the work we do together? I don't mind sharing something that I tried with my team, and it also kind of plays into what we practiced here together and a little bit of what Desiree and I were doing together. So during our team meetings, we were doing little icebreakers, and I noticed that it was always there was always like that, okay, what's our icebreaker question? And sometimes they were more engaging than others, like, what's your favorite drink at the cafe, right? What do you get from the barista? And I suggested that we try Big Talk for a while. And so we would start out our meetings by drawing a card. And yeah, I've realized, I'm so sorry. We keep getting distracted. We still haven't drawn a card. So while you're thinking about your team's best practices, I'd like to build some social connection right here and now and get to know you guys. Okay, these cards are so cute. It's a really tiny little deck. I'm gonna shuffle them. And then Desiree, what do you think? Top, middle, end?
For the middle.
Ooh, okay. This is an interesting one. I've never seen this one before.
You're welcome.
Okay. Just also keeping an eye on the time. So the question today, the big talk question that we can practice is, what is one question you would ask a fortune teller? If you went to a fortune teller, what would you ask them? What would I want to know about my fortune? So lately, I've been really focused on getting back to broadcasting. I was working in broadcasting a while back, doing like a little wellness live stream, and it was bringing a lot of meaning and purpose to my life. And I've had a lot of challenges on getting that going again. And so I think right now in this moment, I would want the fortune teller to tell me, like, hey, do I ever do it? Do I get back to it? And if so, how did I do that? What made it possible? So yeah, I'd ask, do I ever start streaming again? And what made it possible? What about you, Desiree? What would you ask a fortune teller?
Since you posed the question, I'm not really sure. Probably something about my kids.
Aww. Yeah.
Will they live long, happy lives?
Absolutely. Of course, right? You want to know your kids are are getting the best of this subscription to the human experience. Alrighty. Well, in the interest of time, I'm just going to move right along here. And one thing that we wanted to highlight about our program to enhance social connection, not just in the office, but also statewide. One thing that we're hoping that this program can do is connect people from all across the map who have the shared interest in workplace well-being. And I'm hoping that this connected community can be a place that is fun and casual and inspiring. It's also a place that we're posting resources and events, but I would love to hear from you and see what it is that you're doing to keep yourself well at work. So if you notice something throughout your day or something that your team is doing, we'd love for you to just hop on and share it. Taking a picture of a beautiful tree, beautiful autumn tree as you go for a little walk on your lunch break, or I'm a big proponent of pet pics because they give everybody a little dopamine. But yeah, just sharing that intention that this online community is here for us to share our best practices, ask questions, and connect with one another in a meaningful way, and in a fun way, because I think that we really do all need a little bit of levity in our lives, in our work day. So let me see here. I thought I saw chat move. So Tim Rattle shared a link here. I sent out this activity about our future, kind of a fortune teller, Future You Media. Interesting. So tell me a little bit, Tim, what did you like about that activity and what did you notice about it? Did you practice it with your team or have people?
Yeah, well, I can't remember exactly how it got sent out, but it is this idea of just because you're talking about, do I ever do it, right? And so it's actually this idea of like, there's kind of like MIT did it. It was really fascinating, right? You put in things that you're working on and stuff like that, and then you end up with this. You have this conversation with this AI kind of future you, right? Of like,
Whoa.
do I ever do it? And they're like, oh yeah, and like, and it, kind of how AI can sometimes impress you, right? But it's this idea, it's talking from your future point of view, which is really nice, just because
Oh.
there's a lot about you talking to your future self, right? Where like things that seem super important right now, are put in perspective, and you're usually kinder. Your future you is kinder to yourself than maybe your present you. And so it was kind of I it reminded me of your fortune teller question of like, what would I ask? I'm like, I don't know. I asked a lot of questions, but like social media is one of the ones that I actually asked about for myself as well. Just because I've thought of like, how do we use media in wellness? So you were doing it.
Yeah.
I still am impressed.
I love that. Absolutely. I'm gonna open this for later. Thanks for sharing that. All right. And here we go. In case you're wondering about connected communities, here we are across the map. Just that simple. So just getting on in there. If you aren't registered on Connected Community, reach out to me. I'd love to help. And here it is, latest discussion post. You just click add and upload the cheesy joke or the activity that you did with your team or the coffee that got you through the workday. And speaking of connected community, we do have our glove box of resources, and Desiree has uploaded several resources on social connection and gratitude. So those are there for you as well if you want to bring them in as just a quick, ready-made resource to share with your teams. Oops, I don't think I'm on full screen anymore. Sorry. Oop. There's something on the windshield. Hit the wipers. We can't see the whole thing. I think I have to unshare and bring it back. Okay. Present. Here we go. Thanks for bearing with me. Oh, now we're all the way back at the beginning. So this is one of the resources that we've identified and shared with you that talks about how to increase or improve social connection. So, one, to increase your connections and reap the benefits of social well-being. And then there's these components that weigh into our social well-being. So here we have resiliency. Research shows that those with social connections handle stress better. And this is why social well-being at work matters, right? Loneliness. According to recent polls, around 20% of Americans feel lonely in their free time. Social connection improves our health. Laughter, hugs, and social interaction are proven to increase physical health because of that dopamine and oxytocin of social connection. Cholesterol. Lack of companionship is linked to increased cholesterol levels. Immunity. Healthy relationships increase immunoglobulin levels and protect from illness. So here are a few things that it suggests. You can plan a group activity of shared experiences that help a bond, like yoga, dog training, or drawing class. Anything that you and the people around you would like to do. I think it's interesting to try to make a new friend, and so that could be a little quest, kind of like the kindness ninja. I'm sure that we all have our default friends at work, and maybe people we don't talk to quite as much. And so maybe we can reach out. Don't overcomplicate it. Start small. Make big talk. No. Interact more at the gym, summer, concert, or your local coffee shop. And then volunteer. Do a service project you believe in. Meet people along the way while you help others in the community. Right? And we can apply those to the workplace. So this one dives in deeper as to why social wellness is important at work. For employees, it enhances our physical and mental well-being. It boosts our emotional resilience. It improves our life satisfaction. For employers, it increases employee engagement and retention, strengthens company culture, and enhances team cohesion. And I would add to this that when we connect with one another in an authentic way, it also builds psychological safety and trust for us to be vulnerable and authentically ourselves, right? And so if we feel trust in those around us at work, if we're having a hard time, we might be more likely to reach out and communicate that for help. And communicate that we need help, things of that nature. But I'm curious for you guys, why do you think wellness is important within the workplace? And have you experienced any benefits personally that you'd like to share?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and say something. I don't want to hog up the time or anything, but we spend 40 hours a week in our positions in whatever capacity, whether that's 5/8s, 4/10s, or in my case, I do 4/9s and a 4. So we're here a good portion of every day. And when we come to work and it's just miserable or it's difficult or you're having a tough time, we try to compartmentalize and not take it home, but it does come home. And when you don't have those connections or that ability to have any type of wellness, I mean, it does impact productivity. It impacts your confidence. It impacts so many different types of things, which isn't only detrimental to the individual, but an organization as a whole. I mean, it's very deeply interconnected. So that's just my thoughts on it. Is we spend so much time here that if we're miserable when we come to work, I mean, how are we supposed to continually be able to change our faces from work to home and back to forth? And eventually, it just gets kind of blurry. And work's not a fun place. I mean, work doesn't necessarily need to be a fun place, but it doesn't need to be a miserable place. And I think a lot of us find ourselves in a position where work is uncomfortable, it is not fun, it is lonely, and it's not enjoyable. I mean, and that just kind of stinks. And when it feels like that, then it's kind of like, well, what's my stock in this company? Why do I need to try to persevere? Why do I need to try to make things better when I don't have all of these other things?
Yeah, that's a really good point. What I'm hearing you say too is like when we have a strong social connection with people in our workplace, it gets our buy-in, and then there's like this intrinsic motivation to do a good job and really lift the team up, right? I was just thinking too about kind of those like physiological benefits of having social connection, where there's this great TED talk called How to Make Stress Your Friend. And long story short, Kelly McGonigal discusses how when we socialize, we produce oxytocin and dopamine, and those two neurotransmitters actually buffer our stress hormones. So if we have a surge of cortisol and adrenaline, our arteries constrict, and we feel that tension, that fight or flight, and then that physiological response can kind of create this positive feedback loop where the stress escalates and escalates. If we have the intervention of reaching out and talking to our safety person, our mom, our best friend, when we even just so much as hear their voice or receive that support of them holding space for us, the oxytocin and the dopamine helps our arteries relax, and suddenly that physiological response is curbed, and we can shift more into the parasympathetic nervous system where we can access our critical thinking and problem solving. And she was talking about how that social connection actually takes stress and turns it into the biological response of courage, the motivation that we need to get things done and approach the challenge. So, kind of an interesting piece that our conversation brought up. Just keeping an eye on time, I see that Desiree has posted some things in our chat for us. We have the resources from Connected Community that we shared with you, and we also would really appreciate it if you shared with us what you'd like to do with this time together. These sessions really are for you guys, and we want them to meet your needs. We want them to be something that's in service of you, so that when you hop off the call, you feel a little bit recharged. So let us know, how did we do? What can we do better? And what would you like to see from us? The evaluation for this session is posted in chat. Tim says, at Child and Family Services, we see the social work that can happen in our workplace as a protective factor from secondary and vicarious trauma. Though family and communities can support us, peer support offers a different level of understanding. Yeah, exactly. The peer support, people understand the stresses firsthand of what you're experiencing, and so they can help hold space in a way that people who aren't doing the work just might not be capable or they have the capacity to do. Thank you for sharing that, Tim. I appreciate it. So, yep, Desiree shared our connected community. We'd love to see you. Come say hi and help us foster that social connection online. But yeah, I'm curious, what's one word to describe how you're departing today? If you'd like to share that one word in chat, you're welcome to. And perhaps you might think to yourself how you could take something like your takeaway from today's session. How might you activate on that between now and the next time we meet? We'd love to hear how that goes. Thanks, everyone. I really appreciate the conversation. It was so nice to get to know you guys a little more, have that social connection, and continue our trip as we're well on the way. We'll see you on the 24th for our gratitude meditation. You're very welcome, Heaven. Thanks so much for sharing. Have a great day.